Alright everybody, so welcome back to another episode of Would I Buy? And as the cool kids would say, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, but don't smash your computer. And we are looking today at a game called Cresta. Although it is very confusing with the look of that picture and the look of that text because it is not clear. It looks like Soz Arresta or something like that. It is very strange. And what it is a vertical shooter. Now, I said in a previous video that I don't know why when it comes to shooters, I've lost my train of thought. I have said in a previous video that vertical shooters are not my favourite kind of shooter. Now when I grew up with like the Mega Drive and stuff like that, I am used to playing games like, I think my favourite game, or one of my favourite shooter games, was Thunder Force 4. Now obviously that is a side-scrolling shooter. I love side shooting scrollers. And I think it's because I get more immersed in it because they make it look more like, you know, it's more like a typical platformer where you're side-scrolling across. When it comes to vertical shooters, I have a bit of an issue with them because they're always bird's eye view. And I think it's just because I don't get into the bird's eye view as much as the side-scrolling view. So I'll love games like R-Type and things like that, where it's side-scrolling. I get immersed that way. I like it a bit more. I just can't seem to take and warm up to vertical top-down shooters, bird's eye view ones. Goodness knows how I ever got into the original GTA from that respect, because it ain't the best view, it's bird's eye. So alas, when I started Soul Cresta, if I were to go off the normal, I suppose you can always guess what I would do in this situation anyway. No, I probably wouldn't buy this game anyway. It should, when I say that, I mean I wouldn't buy it at full price anyway. I think it comes down to would I actually find any value in this game at all, because I'm biased in this situation. You probably already clicked off this if you were really interested or you're really into your top-down shooters. If you're not, then fair enough, brilliant, yay! Welcome to Spain. That don't make sense. But yeah, I think it comes down to would I play the game in general. I know I wouldn't buy it, so I'll say that anyway because I'm biased in that opinion that I can't take top-down shooters that well. However, there is some fun to be had in this game, and I can say that if you are into your vertical scrolling shooters, you probably would at least be, I would say check it out. I'll put it that way. It does seem to be quite the fun experience where, well, there's not really much to say, it's a vertical shooter. You shoot at things. There seems to be a lot of like leveling up. I don't fully understand how it all kind of works. I kind of was expecting a situation where I swapped between ships or something like that, swapped between weapons, kind of like Thunder Force, but I didn't quite get it. Now I am probably just being a numpty in that respect, but I just couldn't understand it. But the music itself was really good, and I will give it that. The music is nice. It's very typical of like a classic 16-bit track, or I suppose you could say like a typical arcade game at the time. So the music was good, and when it comes to the graphics as well, obviously, as I say, because it's a bird's eye view, I don't really take in a lot of the graphics. I just don't find it that visually appealing. and I think that's what makes me struggle to enjoy it and get into it. Whereas with a side scrolling, you can have all the backdrop and everything. You can get a nice feel for your location with that. But because bird's eye, it kind of just looks like a mass of colours. Now I've obviously played stuff like 1942 or 1947, I can't remember, the war type one, and that was probably as best as it got for me, because at least you could make out the water in the land. But beyond that, it's still just a mass of colours. It's a massive blue or a massive red if you're on a planet, and I don't know, I just don't find it all that visually exciting. And the problem is, it's bad enough that it's the top-down bird's eye view, but when it's top-down bird's eye view that's based in space, there's not really much to say about it. It's just a mass of colours, and I struggle to get immersed in that aspect. So it is down to the gameplay itself, and the gameplay is fun. The music is fun. I suppose maybe music plays a big part too, and that's good as well. So there is something to enjoy in the game, and yeah, there's really not much more to say about it. Although, what does make it a little bit better, there are two versions of it. You can have a normal arcade mode where it does play like a traditional arcade-like experience. There's also the dramatic mode as well, and I do like the dramatic mode. It's nice that they have included that in there, so I will give it credit in that respect. And I think it's probably the dramatic mode that I probably could see myself playing more, because it's essentially the normal arcade game, but with a dramatic, you know, like voice acting over the top. It's got the anime style pictures that go on either side. Now it doesn't look like it fits in as such with the game. It feels like it's a bit of a script that's just played out as you're playing the game. Definitely makes the experience better, but it's like I don't know, it felt like as I was playing it, I felt like the script was kind of just playing out, and it really felt like it had no resemblance to what was happening on the screen. It'd be like just characters chatting with each other, just in a single fashion, and I could be just blasting whatever and doing whatever, and it just made no difference towards what was happening. It was just following the script, and that was a little bit strange. I mean, if I were playing one of those characters, you kind of would have thought that, you know, they'd react to certain things or something like that, but it, you know, in a similar sort of fashion to say like Lilac Wars or obviously to American Star Fox 64. But it kind of didn't. Imagine if, I mean, obviously Star Fox and stuff does have its script as well, but imagine if you were just playing Star Fox and it kind of just, none of the characters reacted to anything. It just literally played a script. You were playing an arcade game with a script playing out, and it made it better. I'll say it made the arcade experience better. So props to that is included. However, it didn't feel enough to justify. But obviously, it was going to take a heck of a lot to pull me in. So I think it would have to be one hell of a top-down shooter to ever make me want to buy it straight off. I will say that if not for that dramatic mode, I probably could have actually just got by and said, nah, I'm not bothered. Because of the dramatic mode though, I kind of feel as if I could play it, as weird as it sounds. I don't think I'd spend too much more, so it'd have to be some heck of a sale on it to make me want to play it, because otherwise I'd probably just say I could get by without it. I mean, I'm on the fence as it is when I say that, because I suppose it shows how much I'm really into the top-down ones. If it had been side-scroller, I think I'd have been more inclined. But Obviously, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for saying that I don't like top-down shooters, and it's not for me. And it's not for me. And if you are into top-down shooters, you know, go for it. You know, you probably would enjoy it. Go play the demo. You probably would enjoy it. Even more so if you like your space type ones. I'm just saying this is my opinion that I was torn. I probably could get by without, but because of the dramatic mode, I would play it in that respect. Just because, but that would be one heck of a sale on it, I'd have to say. But yeah, as I say, that is just my opinion. I mean, what about you guys? Have you played it? Are you into your top-down shooters? Let us know in the comments. I could probably survive. Yeah, but that's just my opinion. Until then, I will see you guys on the next one. Let me know otherwise. Later.
1号機のパイロットが名を名乗れ。はい、候補生の小天道であります。2号機、同じく候補生のルーナ。3号機、エンジニアのドリールと相棒のハルコス。じゃあ敵の90で正規のパイロットたちはみんな。そうか、だがよくぞヤマトを守ってくれた。たとえ訓練生だろうと登場した以上はお前たちが主だ。人類最後の希望、ヤマトを任せなさい。俺たちが。では作戦を伝える。我々ソルクレスタはメガゾファ殲滅の最終作戦を決行する。第一目標はこの海王星に続く敵の侵略兵器バイクンの破壊だ。各機目標地点へ急行せよ。エンジンはどうした？了解。仕業っすよ。惑星に寄生して自然や文明からエネルギーを奪い取っているっす。バイ君が集めたエネルギーで自分たちの兵器を生み出しているのね。バイ君を叩けばメガゾファーの息の根が止まるってわけか。そうっすね。太陽系に6つあるバイ君を全部破壊すれば多分6つも。ちなみに金星と木星はもうエネルギーを吸い尽くされて死の星っす。そんなこのヤマトだけで勝てるのか。ヤマトの性能はオイラが保証するっす。ああ、でもパイロットがめちゃ保証外っす。最後は余計だよ。ヤマトの設計にはドリールが関わっていたのよね。信じてるわよ。任せてほしいっす。訓練の成績最下位の将よりは信用できるものですね。え、ハムコじゃあうるせえ。1号機アマテラス敵中型戦艦接近中。その頃はレイに中型戦艦おじけつくな。訓練通りやればいい。ヤマトの性能を信じろ。了解。なんだ破壊してやった騎士から出てきた死に損ないか。このシュクラ様の前にのこのこと我が戦艦の力を見せてくれるわ。やられるかよ。俺たちには